Okay, YouTube, welcome back. It's Gabe. It's been a minute. No, it hasn't. Well, like a week and a half. I actually got asked this video on live. Sorry, this question on live, and I thought it would be pretty interesting to just yab about it and put the screen on it. So, if you're wondering, this is gonna be my experience with therapy, specifically for BED. So, I'm not gonna say the word, but every single time I do say it, just know what I'm talking about. Before I get started, please like the video, comment. I'm gonna keep pushing the things I wish I knew before I lost 90 pounds or whatever. Keep it coming. But I felt like this would be an interesting topic because, yo, if you're Hispanic, you might relate to this. You might find it funny. If not, you might understand. Dude, unpopular opinion. Therapy has always been something I refuse to do. I don't know if it's because of my background and just growing up, I've always been very independent and very Hispanic. In my household, it was frowned upon, right? In the sense of like, dude, you gotta figure shit out yourself. Who are you, right? Are you a man? Therapy? Huh? And I always had that kind of mindset. Necessarily, it wasn't pushed upon me. It was just kind of like the way I always thought. I'm like, dude, especially when it came to BED and just my food struggles, I was always like, bro, the fuck am I gonna go talk to somebody, right? Because I already knew everything. When you are struggling with that type of shit, like lack of discipline, lack of just control around food, you kind of know that there's nothing no one could tell you. You know, you're in this cycle of like despair and trying to find a key, but deep down you know there is no fucking key. You know there's nothing, no sauce that anybody can give you that it'll fix you. You just know one day, somehow, some way it'll get fixed, and you just pray that day comes like sooner, right? So I always thought, dude, there's no fucking way. Also, the things I was doing, if you don't know, go watch my older video, dude. But I knew I was doing some psychotic shit. Like, I knew I was, you know what I'm saying, overeating at like 2 a.m., eating 99% of my calories, and then just not eating for the entire day. And then, again, eating again at 1 a.m. And I did that shit for like 3 to 4 years. I already knew what was going to happen. I knew the moment I talked to somebody, they were just going to tell me, yo, dude, just eat. Just eat. Just let yourself. Of course you're going to overeat if you're not eating all day. Like, I already knew what they were going to tell me, right? And I just didn't care. I was like, bro, you're not going to give me anything beneficial. Because if you understand my story, you understand, like, dude, I experimented. I tried everything. Everything that fucking person was going to come tell me, I already tried, right? So I'm like, dude, I've tried the whole, not, like, letting yourself go, etc. Not restricting. I tried, what is it? What else did I try? Tried sleeping in the car. I started sleeping at my friends' houses. Dude, I tried everything. I've tried, bro, at that point, I just didn't want to go talk to somebody because I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you going to tell me to stop? Because I knew my biggest fear was to go sit down and talk to somebody and for them to look at me and just tell me, yeah, dude, the only way to get fixed is to just gain a bunch of body fat. Because I just refused. Because I knew at the end of the day that was the key, right? People were going to tell you, yo, fam, you just got to let yourself eat. Just keep going until you're going to get fat. Because the reason you are overeating, you're binging is because you're constantly in this fucking loop. You just gotta let it slap. And I just couldn't, I couldn't accept that, and I didn't want to. I'm like, dude, there's another way. I don't need to go pay someone to go tell me to fucking get fat, right? So, but dude, this was at my worst, bro. This was at my worst. This is when it was the 4,000 calories a day at 2 a.m. and then I was doing 4 hours of cardio, like after 20K steps on top of that. Like, it was just fucking horrendous every single day, and it was just worse. Like, it wasn't enough. Like, the cardio was not canceling the fucking binges. So I was like, dude, I have nothing else. And that was the first time I actually talked to my mother about this. My parents never really understood what was going on. Yeah, they never knew. They never really knew. And it was very judgmental. And my mom was like, dude, you're skipping so much school, because I skipped so much of my senior year, dude. I think I showed up to class like 60 days. Yeah, and then she didn't know until the end, where I just confessed and I broke to her. I was crying. I was like, dude, because again, I didn't want to go tell her, bro. I was like, dude, no one understands what the fuck. My family just thought I was insane and I was a dickhead because I would like overeat, and I would just eat my, like, all the groceries she'd buy in one night, or I'd eat my parent, like my brother's meal prep that he had for work when we, like, there was no groceries. That was the only thing that was in the fridge. I would eat that, and we'd get into arguments, and I'd try to explain. I'm like, dude, like, I didn't want to and shit, but they just think I was a dickhead. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to eat because, like, it looked good and I was lazy to cook. I'm like, no, bro, you don't understand, and etc. So I kind of broke down, and she said she understood. She was like, yeah, I don't go to school, cool, do you? Like, I wasn't going to school regardless. Like, we never had that type of relationship, but she helped me with the whole process of, like, going to doctor and etc. And then I had a couple sessions. And dude, when I tell you, that was the most useless experience of my life. I showed up for 4 sessions and never again, like, bro, let me sum it down for you, dog. I sat down with a fat person. I'm sorry, look, say what you want. If you're watching this, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you know me, I'm very honest. The last thing I wanted to hear as somebody who was doing 4 hours of cardio, fam, I was an athlete. I was fat as shit, but I don't care what anybody has to tell me. The amount of cardio I was doing, and it was high intensity shit consistently. I was dead ass a track runner. The amount of cardio I was doing, yo, I was an athlete, bro. The last thing I wanted to hear was from some fat ass who was sitting in a chair to tell me, dude, you can't be afraid to gain weight. Bro, you just gotta let yourself, especially when the guy would tell me, yeah, you struggle with it. Yeah, I struggle with that type of shit too, bro. I'm like, 100%, I agree with you, dude, but my goal is to get lean. I want to finally be happy with my body. I understand, dude. Like, to me, I knew the problem of binge eating would be fixed if I just let myself gain 20 to 30 pounds, but I don't want that. Who the fuck wants that? I want my issue to be fixed and then to have a physique I'm proud of, like most fucking influencers that we look up to, right? So the last thing I wanted was some fucking normal guy telling me, dude, it's okay, like, you'll get fine, you gotta eat more, we'll have our hunger hormone, stop doing the cardio. And he'd look at me, bro, crazy. So the first moment I broke down my story, bro, was like, so you were telling me that you do 4 hours of cardio at 10 o'clock at nighttime. You didn't eat all day. You do 10 hours, you do 4 hours of cardio at nighttime. You get 20 to 25K steps throughout the entire day, and then expect not to binge at 2 a.m. after you had eaten nothing and you just burned a shit ton of calories, like 3 to 4K. And I look at him and I was like, insert death note clip. Fuck, like, no, it was like, God damn it, he got me, L, like, y'all, if y'all know, you know. But that was like, I was looking at bro and I'm like, fuck, he cooked with that shit. Like, he cooked, like, he fucking got me. Like, I couldn't respond to him, like, yeah, dog, I know it's psychotic and it makes sense. I was all day just fucking not eating and just waiting till 2 a.m. doing a shit, burning 4,000 calories on the fucking machine. And then, of course, I was gonna eat it back, right? But yo, like, the tips this man was giving me were nonsense, bro. And I would tell him, like, yo, fam, I tried everything. I tried eating 4 meals a day consistent. Like, I would sleep at my friend's house and I would try. Like, the reason I would do this was so I could get out the house and I wouldn't binge at 2 a.m. So I could start the fucking, like, I could start fresh. 0 calories, right? I would wake up and actually be able to eat. And I'd fuck up somehow throughout the day. And it, like, I'm telling you, I slept in my car. You feel me? I've done everything. And I just go throughout the sessions, bro. And I'm just like, the only way it felt like genuinely I was going to get fixed is if I gained 40 to 50 pounds from this guy. And I was like, bro, fuck no. The more things I went, the more it was more about your feelings and your emotions. You got to get in touch. No, bro, that is not the way, and I just couldn't handle it. Look, I don't know if I'm a loser, and I just stopped going after 4 therapy sessions, and I was like, bro, this is not for me. I want the person I'm taking advice from to be sexy and lean and have been through what I've been through and tell me the real sauce. And the real sauce, bro, is not that. It is not that, bro. You don't have to get fat as fuck. I say this all the time, dude. Yes, I was an idiot for doing all that cardio, because eventually, I guess he was kind of right. Because the reason that I snapped was I just kept gaining a bunch of fucking body fat that eventually, dude, you just get to a point where something changes. But like I've always mentioned, dude, the real key, there is no fucking sauce, bro. There is no sauce. The trick is to eventually, and I'm still not fixed, but it's so much better. The fix is, dog, you have to figure out what the fuck is up with you, bro. Quit trying to ask people, bro. There's nothing more cringy. There's nothing more pathetic than when people go in comment sections. Dude, nobody knew about this shit. Like, this is why this is a story time. Because me going to therapy was like the cry for help. And genuinely, once I did that, it's like I finally started getting fixed. Because it was like, to me, that was rock bottom. And it's crazy to me on social media now how people just fucking throw that shit left and right in my comment sections. And it makes me feel amazing that it's like a safe space for you guys, genuinely. But it gets to a point, bro. It gets to a point. You're never going to get fixed if that's all you fucking talk about, bro. The days I binge, I wouldn't tell anybody. Nobody fucking knew. You have to lie about that shit, bro. You gotta even lie to yourself. No, I didn't binge, I already ate. And not even think about it. Because once you start associating yourself with something, that's who you become, bro. The fuck, I'm a binge eater. No, you're not. You just binged. That's it. Keep it pushing, bro. And even if it's every single day, you're never a binge eater. You're just a guy. Oh, shit happened, bro. And that's step number 1, gang. Step number one. Step number two, dude, is figure out what the fuck went wrong. A lot of people are idiots. And gang, I've been there, but a lot of y'all are idiots. You binge, you overeat, you do this shit, and then you just stay in this fucking hating mindset of, oh, I'm an idiot, I fucked up. Yeah, great, you're an idiot, you fucked up. Now what? I'm about to hop on the Stairmaster for 4 hours. And what? What does that change? What did you learn? You have to learn shit. And that's the thing most people do not understand. You have to view these scenarios, these occasions like movies, bro. Over time, you gotta replay them hoes. You have to be like, okay, what caused it this time? Dude, I have a self-help book, a fat loss guide in my fucking routine, dog, where I talk about these stories and just kind of help y'all. So please get it if you're interested, dog. But I literally mentioned how I would always overeat and binge on days from work. And rather than just fucking cardio spamming only, yeah, I'd do it. But I'd also take that chance to fucking learn where things went wrong. I figured out a lot of shit. I'm like, okay, what happens with my shifts? I'm usually very stressed because I was a line cook and that shit put me in a high emotional state after the shift. Okay. I'd come home and be like, okay, you have to learn to relax because when you're stressed, you tend to overeat. So I was more focused about maintaining my emotions throughout the rush and shit. Boom, I still overate. Fuck, okay, next Sunday, what happened? Well, I usually am very greasy, very dirty after work. I realized that makes me freak out when I feel ugly, when I feel fat. It's like, it gives me this fuck all mindset. It's like, just overeat, who gives a fuck, you already look like shit. So I started taking showers after work at like the gym bathroom before I went home. That shit still made me crash out. What else did I learn? I was like, okay, it's because I'm actually trying not to eat all day because I expect the binge to come at nighttime, so I'm like starving throughout the entire shift. Okay, so I started eating like, you know, shit like this. You fucking learn and you keep trying shit, you keep replaying what fucking works, what happened, why, maybe, boom, until you learn things about yourself, right? I know I can't eat a meal if I'm holding in a piss because it makes me not digest the food, right? It makes me like act like it makes me feel like a black hole. I feel like the food didn't go in, right? I'm very anxious if I'm dirty. If I let my nails grow too long, if my hair gets greasy, I feel like I want to overeat. For some reason, that's just how my psyche works. You feel me? And over time, these things help me because when I live now my day-to-day life, I think about the stupid shit that nobody thinks of because I know what makes me tick. Rather than just fucking taking those stupid-ass opportunities and being like, fuck, okay, I ate 4K calories, now let me go burn 4K. Yeah, great. And then tomorrow what? You'll do the same shit, and you'll do the same shit, but you'll never fucking learn, and that's the issue. But yeah, that was my experience with it, and I ended up quitting. My mom never figured out I quit, because I had a whole story with her, whereas like she was telling people, bro. She started telling people I had this issue, and that's when I snapped, because to me it was already a very sacred thing. I'm telling you, nobody knew, and I opened her up to it, and let her know, and the fact that she was telling people literally made me so disgusted, and I think I didn't talk to her until like 4 months after, like, I don't think I kept her updated until I eventually ended up losing the 40 pounds in 5 weeks. Y'all already know. That's when I fucking like eventually started talking to her again. But that shit destroyed me because I was like, dude, you broke my fucking trust. I didn't even want to tell you, and you telling other people. But hell no. So I showed up to 4 sessions. After that shit, I was done because I couldn't take that shit, dude. I did not want somebody who wasn't where I wanted to be telling me what to do and was telling me shit that I already tried. Because I was already like on this mindset of like, no one's gonna help you in this type of shit because it's very individualized. And yeah, that was just a little rant about my experience with therapy, some pro BED advice, some things to think about. Dude, whoever's listening to this shit, bro, go watch some old content. Go watch The Journey. Shit gets better, dog. I'm telling you, the biggest key will always be never to give up. Because, again, I always knew, even in that pit, bro, I knew future Gabe was going to be sexy, bro. I knew that eventually I was going to get lean. And low-key, I surpassed my standards. I never thought I was going to get as lean as I did. But it just happened because I reached like a flow state, right? But you get the point. I dreamed of who I am and I could see him low-key. And that's the thing. You gotta see your future self, bro. You have to see him. You feel me? And do things for him. How are you so motivated? Because I know the person on the other side is waiting for me. I know the moment the moment you give up, bro, the future version of yourself that you dream of won't ever be born. And that's why I keep pushing to this day. Because just like how old Gabe was grinding and fucking feeling hopeless on that treadmill for 4 hours, thinking it was never gonna get better, even though that shit was useless, and it was kind of like, oh, like it was just in a cycle. It wasn't useless technically because I learned never to do that shit again, and it put me in situations that I'm like, yo, I don't ever want to do that again, right? But because he didn't give up, he didn't give in the towel. He wasn't like, oh, I'm cooked, and started crying and complaining and leaving fucking notes on people's comment sections telling help me. You feel me? That got me to where I am. And now wherever I go through, I'm like, why would I give up, dude? When there's future Gabe who's bossed up, who's better looking, who's more successful, he's waiting for me to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? So that should always be your true motivator, dude. Do things for your future self, because the moment you stop, he won't be born. But yeah, guys, another random yap talking about experiences, motivational stuff. Hope y'all like, fucking enjoyed it. Hope you took something out of it. Like the video, comment, let me know what other stuff you guys would like to see. I'm just gonna start yapping more on here, honestly, just taking this shit less serious but more serious. I have a lot of fun just putting the camera on and letting y'all hear my thoughts. Have a great day, guys. Love y'all. Again, please comment, like, subscribe. Have a great night.